Hi everyone, Mike, and I'm going to give you a review of this 2012 Ford F150. I'm not really a Ford guy, but I must tell you, I am really impressed with this truck. This is a rental, it is not my truck. My work vehicle, which is a van, is currently being serviced, so I have this rental truck. Nice looking front end and grille on this truck. This is a gray color in case the light is distorting it some. Few things I really like about it is, number one, as you can see, the frame is painted, unlike some other trucks and my own, which makes it really nice. The one thing I don't really like is this much space exposed to the engine compartment. Here in New England, this is going to get splashed a lot with salt, but other than that fact, I think they've done a really nice job with this truck. 17-inch wheels. We'll zoom in on the numbers so you can see them. This truck rides really well, it handles well, it steers well. I'm quite impressed. I think it's got rack and pinion steering, but I'm not sure. It has very quick steering. Okay, this is what the key looks like. Has remote keyless. Really like the layout of the interior. The dash and the instrument cluster is laid out very well. Just took me a little bit to get used to the radio controls, just because it's new and I'm not used to it. This does have a rubber mat on the floor as opposed to the carpeting, and honestly I think I like it better. It would be much easier to clean. This is a four-wheel drive, tilt wheel lock, controls for the like the trip odometer and that type of stuff. I'm not sure if this has cruise or not. I haven't really, I think it does. I think that's what this is. I haven't played with it enough to see. Let's take a look at the engine compartment. Release is in the standard area. And the release is down here. Gas shocks, one on each side. This is a really powerful truck. It's a 6-cylinder V6, 3.7 liter. It is not the EcoBoost, which I believe is a 3.5. But this truck has a lot of power. It is teamed up with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it is incredible the power that this has. Also, one thing that Ford talked about is their excellent crash test reviews on this, and I'm going to try to show you why. There's inner structure framework that comes down around here and along in here down by the battery box. Kind of hard to see this. This has electric cooling fans for the radiator as opposed to the engine driven. One thing I didn't really care for is where they put the oil filter, which is right there, and it's really not a good spot to get to it. It looks like you could end up spilling oil all over the place, but I haven't done it again because this is a rental. But other than that fact, there's a lot of features I like about this. Okay, let's have a closer look at the interior. This is what the instrument cluster looks like with no power on. Turn signal, gear selector. The key is still on the steering column. Some vehicles have it on the dash or down in this area. This is the four-wheel drive selector switch. Radio and some information up here. I'll show you more of that in a second when it's powered on. And the radio button controls and the climate control. It also looks like it has an input jack for an iPod possibly, or any accessory, MP3 player, whatever. I think this might be a MP3 player. I don't know, I haven't tried it. But I'm sure it's available as an option. And full glove box. So nice interior. One thing I noticed though is this center console does not open. And I'm not sure if that is just an option, because this obviously is not a top of the line model. It's missing options, so I don't know if you can get that with another option or not, but that is kind of a nice feature to have. Cup holder and so on. Okay, also power windows, locks, mirrors. Alright, so let's just turn the dash cluster power on so you can see the gauges. It also has a tranny cooler gauge right here, along with fuel, regular engine temperature, and oil. They do not have a voltmeter on this one, which I found kind of odd. Anyway, over here it tells you your radio station, clock, and also outside temperature, which is a nice feature to have. One thing that I found really amusing, because I'm kind of a tech computer guy, is the turn signal. This is quite a bit different from one that I've been familiar with in the past. First of all, the audible tone that it comes from is a electronic generated tone. It's not an actual flasher that's making noise. So I found that kind of amusing. And the second thing is the turn signal lever goes back to its rest position, and I'll give you a demonstration. It's not like conventional ones where it stays up and you turn the wheel and it clicks. I just love that turn signal. So that takes a little bit to get used to, because you're expecting that to stay down when it doesn't. So that's kind of a neat feature. And you can also tell it's computer generated, because if I open the door, or actually close it, and open the door, with the key in the ignition, or actually take it out. It does that, and you turn the turn signal. Notice how it took longer for the turn signal to make its noise. The door ajar alarm overrode the turn signal. So, kind of interesting. I'm intrigued by that. Anyway, pretty neat. Okay, so let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Again, this is a 3.7 liter. I believe it's Ford's standard engine for this truck. The EcoBoost, I believe, is a 3.5 and it's an option. And I think you can also get the 4.6, but I'm not sure. But this has a lot of power. I'm going to close the door so the door jar goes away. Also gets really good mileage. 21.6. And I live in western Massachusetts, and I've had it in the valley area of the Pioneer Valley and also in the Berkshires, and to get from one area to the other there are tons of hills, so that's actually pretty good. So that's some highway driving, hill driving in town. And 21.6, not bad considering this vehicle probably weighs around 4,600 pounds if I had to guess. I'm not positive of that, but I'm guessing that's probably about the weight of the vehicle. So that's really not bad. Anyway, what else did I want to show? Does have air conditioning. So yeah, I'm overall really impressed with this. Let's take a look at the bed area. Okay, so this is the bed of the 2012 Ford F150. One thing I noticed, there is no gas cap, which I found very interesting. Take a look at the frame. Again, a painted frame, which will certainly help around here in New England with the salt. I need to paint the frame on my truck. Also, another thing they do is they put this shock on the outside of the framework like this, which they claim makes it more stable, and I agree, it rides nice. And this is plastic, this covering, so that'll stop that from rusting in theory. Alright. Rear taillights. And the tailgate, which opens really nice and easy. Factory bed liner. Nice thing about this bed liner is they put these hooks through the bed liner so it holds the bed liner in, and unlike my truck, it has cutouts here which allow water to get into it. So I like the way they did that. And the roof. And side rails. So anyway, this is a review of the 2012 F150. I also forgot to show you, it also says it on the windshield. I don't know if it showed up in the first video I did. Nope, you only see it from the interior. Let's have a look at it before I close. There it is. Pretty cool. Extended cab. This window rolls down. And all my junk here for work. Nice rockers. Cup holders or whatever on the side of the doors. Pockets. Nice big defog. Big mirrors. The only option this doesn't have is it doesn't have the turn signal. That's where it would go, right there. But they're big mirrors. Pretty nice. So anyway, this is the review of the 2012 Ford F150. Really impressed with this truck. Thanks for looking.